Greetings, friends. Adobe recently added a new feature called Generative Upscale into Lightroom that uses Topaz Labs' Gigapixel's AI-powered resizing algorithms to double or quadruple our image's resolution. To be clear, this feature is currently available only inside of the cloud-based type of Lightroom, but don't panic, Lightroom Classic users. If you stick around, then I'll show you an easy workaround so that everyone can upscale their images using this incredible new resizing option. Working with Generative Upscale is pretty straightforward, so let's jump in and let's get started. Before I started recording this tutorial, I did everything that I could to improve this image using all of Adobe Lightroom's editing tools. I want to emphasize this point because enlarging an image using Lightroom's Generative Upscale feature only makes sense at the very end of our editing workflow. So to follow my own advice, I'm going to activate the crop tool and I'm going to set a much tighter crop. My original image had 6,000 pixels on the long side and 4,000 pixels on the short edge. But after setting such a tight crop, I'm down to just 2,600 pixels by 1,600. So to enlarge what we have left, I'm going to activate Lightroom's new Generative Upscale command. When this dialog box appears, you have two choices. Using these buttons, you can double 2x or quadruple 4x the size of your image. Note that using either of these buttons will cost generative credits. If you want to see how many credits you currently have and when that balance will refill, then tap here. Since I have plenty of generative credits, and since I want the largest possible image, I'm going to select the 4x option and press the upscale button. That's it. As soon as Lightroom finishes enlarging this image, a new DNG file will be added into my image library. Let me show you how the upscaled version compares to my original. My cropped original was 2,600 by 1,600 pixels, and the upscaled version is 10,500 pixels by 6,700. And if I zoom in, the results in the enlarged photo look fantastic. To illustrate what a huge difference this has made, I've prepared a demo for us using Adobe Photoshop. The view that you see right now is my cropped original at 100% view. Compare this to a version that I created using the 2x generative upscaling option. Now, compare this one to the 4x enlargement that we created just a minute ago. Just to fit the 4x version on my screen, I need to zoom way out. Let me stress that there is no reason to add generative upscale into your editing workflow unless your goal is to create gigantic prints. Let me return to Lightroom to emphasize another point. When I activated the Generative Upscale command, all of the work that I had done on my original image was baked into this new file. So there's no way for me to adjust these settings again on this file. My only choice is to switch back over to my lower resolution original and make adjustments there. And then I would have to run the Generative Upscale command again. When I do that, I'm wasting time and credits. This is the reason why Adobe and I are warning you to hold off on using Generative Upscale until the very end of your editing workflow. Well, now that you've seen how Generative Upscale works within the cloud-based type of Adobe Lightroom, let's jump over to Lightroom Classic. If you're a Classic user, and if you need Generative Upscale to quadruple the size of your final image, then do anything and everything that you can to perfect your photo right here inside of Lightroom Classic. Things like denoise and cropping. When your photo looks perfect, switch back over to the grid view in the library module. Now, I'm going to save my work down to the file level using Classic's metadata Save Metadata to File command. Saving your metadata is important for this workaround, so please don't skip this step. Next, I'm going to right-click and I'm going to choose the Show in Finder command on a Mac or the Show in Explorer command on a PC. When I do this, an operating system window should appear. Please don't close this window, but you can close Classic or move it out of the way. Now, to get this image into the other type of Lightroom, there's a very simple set of steps. All I need to do is open up the other Lightroom. That's the LR symbol, but without a C. C here is for Classic. When Lightroom Desktop opens, I want to open up the left-hand panel. I want to go to the grid view, and then I want to go to the local, not the cloud tab. All I need to do at this point is resize this window so that I can see that operating system window that I left open just a minute ago. So move things around on your screen as needed. Then take the photo that you want to enlarge, drag it, and drop it into the main rectangle. You might even get this blue highlight. When you let go, that will tell Lightroom Desktop that you are interested in this file. Now, I can close the operating system window. I can resize this one so it's full screen, and I'll have this image ready to work on, complete with all of my settings from Lightroom Classic. So now the process is really easy. All we have to do is go Photo, Generative Upscale, just like we did in the first part of this video. We'll pick the 4x upscaling, we'll tap the Upscale button, and we'll give Lightroom a minute to make us our super enlargement. So here's my original cropped image. You can see its pixel dimensions are really small. And here's the 4 times enlargement, much bigger. So the last step in this workflow is to get the enlarged image back into Lightroom Classic. To do that, I'm going to right-click on the enlarged image. I'm going to go Show in Finder on a Mac or Show in Explorer on a PC. Once again, an operating system window is going to open. Just like getting here, you can move the operating system window out of the way, but don't close it. You can, however, quit out of or exit Lightroom Desktop. Now, we need to reopen Lightroom Classic. When Lightroom Classic opens, be sure that you go to the Library module, Grid View. Then, resize Lightroom Classic so that you can see that operating system window. Once you're in Grid View in Classic, all you need to do is to drag the new enlarged image, the gigapixel image, out into the center of the grid. When you put this in the center of the grid and let go, you will trigger Lightroom's import dialog. Once you get to the import dialog, it will know that it's the gigapixel image you're interested in, but it might not know all the other settings. The only one that's essential here is that you add this file rather than copy or move. So I'll pick Add and I'll hit Import. In no time, I'll have that image, but I might not see it side by side with the original. To fix that, I'm going to right-click once more, but this time I'm going to choose the Go to Folder in Library command. And when I do that, I'll now see my original image here, sitting side by side with the enlarged one. Let me just show. Here's the little one. There's the big one. Piece of cake. Well, there you go. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you learned something today, then please leave us a like or a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next tutorial.